Hey guys, this is Zlewikk and welcome back to my 3 mountains achievement run, where I already got one achievement, Baborg, but now we're on the way for the 3 mountains. To do that we have to conquer the rest of the world. That's how map looks like right now. We've got 19,500 development, which is almost 2,000 of provinces. Pretty much have Germany to be conquered and different small parts of the rest of the world. Good progress. I'm sure this is the final episode. We prepared a setup with 70% admin efficiency, 90% of the co-creation cost, and finally with 60% of province Roscoe cost. I opened a tool to show you like how our growth of provinces looked like so far. So if we go to the war charts, you'll see that first of all, this is my income. Nicely increasing. This is the Ottomans. You can see each time we reward them. And look at this nation size. Once we've prepared our setup, which means getting the Malta monument in 1637, that's how our growth started exploding. And we are what, 2,000 provinces. Development wise, I mentioned we have almost 20,000 development out of 34,000 the whole world. Let me start with breaking my tributary with Chagatai, so attack them. And look, they've built 100,000 troops. That's one of the strongest nations in game right now. We'll also do the same for Bali, although the allied Austria-Hungary, so maybe let's leave it for a bit later. First war that I'll declare today is on Russia. My troops are already in place, ready to attack. I'm just choosing generals with the best sieges to be able to handle that. Russia has 200,000 troops, so it's not super... Portugal! Wait, what? What? Russia got forced scaffolding by Austria-Hungary earlier. My truce with Portugal. Okay, that's actually not that bad. I just finished war with Portugal, so can use this to shorten the truce. I know that you guys love a perfect carpet siege. It's just see all of these nice lines. I'm thinking this is art. It's not bored to go. What I'm gonna do to Russia is just to maximize a chance for rebels to break free out of them with this border gore. It's obviously as much as I could take. The war score is 110, but I'm gonna eat them in the next war for sure. And it's because in next January I'm taking Tech 23, which gives me advanced casus belli. That is another 25 or 20 war score cost. We'll see once we unlock it. You see I'm running a lot of wars at the same time, and I just fully annex Ottomans in just one war, because I got that advanced CB, just to give you an example. Advanced CB gives 25% cost for all of the provinces. I could eat the Ottomans easily in just one war. I am a bit over gov capacity, it's fine. Also through tier 9 guarantee form I got another max absolutism, which right now gives me, as mentioned I think in the previous episode, 34.5 admin efficiency. It's almost 5 extra compared to what you have without extra effective absolutism. So great cleanup is happening. You see where they are almost 3/7 of provinces. I'm dealing with England that brought 250,000 troops here, and I'm somehow winning, same as winning here in the New World, but it's nothing easy. And look at this, they're just overstacking so much in the battle, which is our chance to win it easily. Like, yeah, I don't even probably have to reinforce it. Hey, look, that's how our current push is looking like, all of this. And I want to attack the HRE in a second because I have the troops ready. So how about we declare on Brandenburg? All of these guys will be included, including Bali even. Let's make Bali... yeah, they are subjects, so we're gonna just separate piece them. But yeah, I'm not gonna make any of these co-belligerents, because we don't need to. Germans are also trying with huge overstacking. That might actually work for them. Let's see, because these battles will be very close. I don't think I'm gonna win them. That's a surprise. Yeah, we've lost both. Why I'm doing more damage at least, but yeah, the cannons hurt. You know what's the worst part? This is how the building time looks like. The game just can't handle that many provinces. Look what How much of effort we have to put into this war? 760,000 killed, 250,000 killed. Here not that much, and here not that much. From Spain I can make literally everything except their capital. Wait, unless I'll be able to increase my absolutes back to 115. Let me try. Yeah, I'll simply not piece them out yet. I need to wait a little bit more. Although it wouldn't be a bad idea to just leave them alive, because they have so many small stacks around the world that will be pain in the ass to go and annex them. Yeah, I'm gonna piece them out now, let them come back to Madrid, and then kill them later. How about English boys? European provinces, overseas provinces, except here in Africa because I didn't occupy that fort, and plenty of the New World provinces. And I'll leave the European war for around a year from now. And anyway, we already reached 23,000 development, 2,400 provinces. I have to also get ready to attack Chagatai, but it's not that big of a rush. How much of an extension do we get? 400. It's also time to break vassalization of Deccan, or maybe let's wait to declare on Chagatai because I'm sure they're gonna ally each other. And this, just all of this in just one war. Not bad, especially that most of the other nations were not co-belligerents. That obviously changed the Holy Emperor to land chat, which is actually gonna be my next goal to declare on. That's anyway already 24.8 thousand development, 2.5 thousand provinces. This is pretty much how my game is gonna look like for the next, I think, at least 15, maybe even more years. Constant wars with as many attacks as possible. And I'm leaving probably England to do some truce breaks at the very end, but we'll see how I'm gonna approach this. Super exhausting, but we already hit 2.6 thousand of provinces. Yeah, I'm also running slowly out of professionals to burn for our manpower because we're just sitting so many forts at the same time. My problem is also loading Nomadic Frontier, which is... I have a one-sided truce with them. And it still can't to grow. Truce ends in December 94, and disaster will start in July 95. So it means I'll have to truce break them, but I have in mind some bonuses to reduce the impact of a truce break. And that's why I'm gonna end up attacking them in a second. Christianity, a faith for the Emperor? No. I don't know which Emperor I'm killing, but this is pretty much easier for me than one big dismantle. Keep doing wars with the current Emperor and reducing the amount of the Princess. Later I'll do just one big war against all of them. See also one big war against all of these islands. Is also what happened. Something that always helps with mana is just a diet to build a university. So I always have enough mana to core. Keep building the town halls, but you see how slowly the game works. Portugal became Holy Emperor, which is great for us because they are goddamn dead and they don't want to do anything. This is the time to finish off the HRE guys. At this point, number 8 great power is to get the Mecklenburg with 140 different development. Mostly I'm leading through the unguarded nomadic frontier. It's gonna be totally fine for me. It's actually better than truce break to let it happen, because as soon as I eat Chagatai, it's gonna end. The list keeps decreasing. This is all the tags that are still alive. Let me also make sure to break that vassalization with Deccan. Even at 83 overextension, rebels are loading for us. Attacking Chagatai immediately when the truce ends. It's gonna be plenty of force to siege down here. I'll be surprised, but I still didn't conquer Madagascar. Just never bothered with making a navy to take care of it. And the Bali piece that is gonna be very important for my final truce breaks to finish it off. Because Bali has a monument that gives me stability cost. Let's see this little overstacking army of the HRE trying to hold for their life. But there's nothing they can do. Oh, where did you come from? What the hell? Ottoman separatists? Ottomans disappeared from the map at least a decade ago. Let's see, we are destroying these guys. Not that easy of a battle, actually. But just go next by to get them. They're just the nomadic frontier. Should be a wipe with this. Yep. Yeah, not so how many force do I have? That cost me 400 a month. I probably have to clear this forces. I still do need some money and I'm too lazy to maximize my trade setup. That's why I can go to the buildings, Starforts, and everything that is dark blue I can just delete with a right click. Okay, now with these adjustments we are down to 240 of fort maintenance. So immediately take some loan. It's fine. I will like this money will be much bigger once I start playing around with the trade, so I can even go all loans right now and nothing bad will happen. We improve that monument to the maximum level as some truce breaks are incoming. Okay, screw it guys, let me start with truce breaking England. This is just -2 stability we're gonna get, which would cost rebels, but I can boost it for 50 mana and 50 mana again. I can reduce for exhaustion and no rebels issue. There goes the whole Chagatai in just one war. That will end the disaster right away. Now I actually have to play it smart, because ending the disaster will give me 2 stability. Just double check it. Yes, it will give me 2 stability. So I might use that to do another truce break. Just don't know on whom yet. Maybe Deccan.
I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move.
We do that. And I got stability back to 1. And let's deal with, I think, the strongest country on earth now. Look how many armies got them England assembled. Trying to play smart to be able to win as much as possible. With the amount of the troops it might be tough. I need to be able to reinforce the London battle. And I'll be able to do that. Winning very easily on the Gloucester battle. And I just hope that's gonna be a lot of war score from both of this. See, well, we need to piece them out ASAP. How about army quality of Deccan? Are you guys even ready to fight in the battles? How does it look? How does it look like? Yeah, but I want actually an actual battle. Let's see. Yeah, easy peasy. I'm gonna leave England with just these provinces. I think it should be enough for just one war. It's gonna be close. I mean, in price, Casusbel is gonna surely be for one war. Update on amount of countries that are still alive. Not too much. Update on the development. A lot. It's time for the truce break on England. I made sure to core the province that I took from them. And again, I only have to stop twice. Now it's even cheaper while using war exhaustion. Say goodnight to Deccan, which you see in the end I can annex in just one war. And switching from province Roscoe cost to absolutely definitely helped with that. Update. 31,000 development, exactly 3,000 provinces. At least with Russia I don't have to truce break. The provinces scored. Can go ahead for another truce break. This one is gonna be on Spain and Portugal. Let's all together say goodbye to the British Empire. It's ceasing to exist. The Mughals name placement is just becoming beautiful. Also goodbye to the Norwegian colonial empire. I love it. And the same we can say goodbye to Germans. Oh, I didn't have 5 clans overextension for a while, but that's what we just achieved here. Interestingly, everything that I could core I started coring, and I ran out of admin mana while doing so. That's not something that I expected. But you see, we are slowly finalizing that world conquest. With a super tryhard, I could maybe do it pre-1700, but I'm not sure if I want to deal with the rebels later on. One nation that we declare pretty much as the last one to declare. Yes, that's usually the last nation I'll declare on in this game. Got them, Iceland. Okay, guys, we're done. I'm just gonna pass one last monthly to the cruiser of these rebels. And we can piece out all of these wars to get achievement. Russia. That's an easy one. Portugal. That's an easy one. Europeans. The last three standing European nations. Easy one. Oh no, sorry, Scotland is the last one. Unless we treat... What? They're not accepting? Let me just core the rest in the meantime. Oh yes, are they here in Africa? By the time I arrive in here in this goddamn provinces, all provinces will start coring, or even get cores. Like most of them already did. Can you imagine they had 13,000 troops just sitting on the piece of coastal desert? Now they're gonna accept it. Just look at this. Did you hear that sound? This is a sound of absolute success. The Fremantle is in our hands in 1700. But we're not. That's not where I'm gonna finish this campaign. The video is not that long yet, which means we can go in the next 100 years just to a casual one faith. As goddamn Ryukyu without playing it as Hindu, which is a terrible religion to do on one faith. Not a problem, let me show you a few basic tricks when doing a one faith. Now that the Fremanters are done, we don't really have to care that much about bringing over the GAF capacity, which means I can optimize my trade companies much more. Because ideally, we want a merchant from each of these regions, which means also a few D-states, right? Because I have so many cores around here, but not that many. So I'll approach the strategy of adding all of trade centers to a trade company, but only trade centers, nothing more than that. And it's because a trade company, my friends, to show in the Bengal example, gives good Prus modifier to all of the provinces that are not in the trade company. But also the more trade power the trade company has, the more goods Prus modifier it's giving. So maybe in case of Bengal, they don't want all of the trade centers because there's just so many of them. But usually all of the trade centers, I will be adding them to a trade company to get not 25, but many more merchants. A map move that helps just reminding myself where I have these trade companies is colonial trade regions, because everything that is green is in my trade company. And one of the big advantages of moving a capital to the new war is that you can trade company a whole old world. Okay, I think I do have trade companies everywhere now. Just push a month tick. Yeah, I've got 57 merchants and just sport enlightenment. This actually should be useful to court the rest of the provinces. We are a bit over got a GAF capacity now, but obviously doesn't matter since we don't conquer anything more. Income is not impressive, it's just 4,000. But this is without setting up the trade properly. Because if you remember my 1 million income run from many years ago, you'll know that the goal for high income is mainly leveraging trade steering, which is creating value out of nowhere. For example, Gujarat. It has 469 income incoming, 19 local, 489 income outgoing. But then for trade steering, it creates value out of nowhere, so instead of 489 outgoing, we have 521. And now this is increasing the longer trade route you're having. Direct trade route, the more merchants are creating one route, the higher impact of trade steering there is for each of the nodes. That's why we'll have to move our nodes to the English channel and try creating long trade route. Well, first I just simply have to send merchants to all of these nodes to make sure they're present there. And once they're present, I'll be able to start playing around with the arrows. Obviously I don't have enough merchants to also handle the new war, so from here the trade will be mostly flowing by itself, which is fine. Now I didn't decide any directions of the arrows yet, so let's see if that's gonna impact my trade income at all. It's 2.225. It's 3,000 already. A lot of merchants are still ongoing. Take out the rebels. It's 3,000. 3.1 thousand. 3.3 thousand. The cores are being finished, and I think all of the merchants arrived. So we got 3,000. It's not much. That's why it's time to start playing around with the arrows. Since I'm missing some merchants, why don't I just go to Krakow and get additional 2 merchants from here? So yeah, we are at up to 62 merchants. I still didn't get any merchants from China, as well as my ex-homeland. So let's get a few more. The income is already at 5.3 thousand of trade and total at 7.3. Now I think this way we are actually covering vast majority of the trade nodes. Trade efficiency and caravan power. Caravan power doesn't matter here, but trade efficiency is definitely gonna be useful. Same as the investment. The trade companies to increase our trade steering, which already got our trading on to 8,000. We do have to look for buildings, improving our economy, many monuments, but also we'll have to build a lot of manufactories and the investments to increase the goods produced and trade power in the trade company provinces. I can also change my decree at last. Let's see if there's anything for goods produced here. There's minimum autonomy, that's useful. I think I'm gonna use the state's governing cost in October. How about celestial reforms? Oh, there's trade efficiency here. Let me take it. Which obviously is gonna decrease my goods produced modifier for a while, but the mandate is cruising pretty fast. So since I want to convert a whole war to Hindu, I need to find monuments that is gonna give me missionary strength. But also I'm gonna, everything that is not in a trade company, I'm gonna start house stating. As a reminder, house states in our case, guys, are having 30 of local autonomy. But also states are gonna give me goods produced modifier, and in Age of Revolutions, I'm gonna get state edict for the goods produced modifier. And so I'm gonna take also another trade string from here. And trade company guaranteed cost, that's nice. It's for 0.39, 3.8. And it's 9,000 with the reduced goods produced modifier. Let me change that decree. State's guaranteed cost. So now this is down to 3.7 thousand. Instead of humanist ideas, let me cancel this. I'll take also trade ideas to stack our income. That's gonna be some nice privileges. And some missionary and missionary strength from my favorite death cost modifier palace. There's also never enough of tech cost, but this is actually already maximum level 2. Another merchant from the Ban Citadel. And I think I should be able with this monument to get a mission. That required me to have, yeah, high clans of heretics, of hiddens. So I'm gonna get another round of hiddens. Some useless bonuses. Let's see, anything useful for income around here? Not really. But definitely another missionary strength is gonna be of use. Just at 16% is going really fast. State's guaranteed cost from the White House is probably one of the most OP modifiers that you can get from the monument. Look, just 3.5 thousand now. I also stacked a decent amount of the reform progress growth. Just take a look at this. You see yet another missionary strength, yet another merchants. You see, monuments is one of the biggest things in game where you can stack so many good modifiers for your campaign. You just have to have money, obviously, and plan it properly. So how much we do stack? We stacked 18.5 missionary strength, and remember there's another 3, I think, yes, from the temple city. So if you don't to quickly convert everything, that should help. Now goes Age of Revolutions. I've got pretty much everything done here. From these bonuses, I don't think I need anything. What I need is to click a mission for some idea cost. Maximum tolerance of heathens. From progress growth. Yeah, it doesn't matter that much. And I need to change my guarantee form. I think it is here. See, Age of Revolution's local goods price modifier 33% instead of new autonomous territories. Just time to start coring all these provinces to the new world, because I want to half state these provinces. I cannot half state without this court. Honestly, what stops me from just fully stating everything? I'm just too lazy to click all of these buttons manually. Let me just click core all. Probably don't have enough argument for now to core it, but I will have it later. Another missionary strength is gonna be coming from Vishnu. Later I'm gonna change it for trade efficiency for more income. We'll see. Yeah, it's between 7 and 11 pounds for a conversion. Here's also call unlocked. There's gonna be another enormous boost to our economy. Obviously, the institution has to spread to more provinces for me to build it everywhere. I'm gonna trade string from trade ideas. Just take a look. 11,000 of trade income. And this small improvement, 14,000. That's how strong goddamn trade string is, and that's why I'm increasing my navy tradition, because it gives trade string as well. With proper buildings, our gov capacity is half, and I keep stating more and more provinces, which obviously it just takes time as it's very slow. Same as getting the buildings, but you see the conversion time is already down to 4 months. I think we probably will not be able to convert all of this to Hindu. Ideally, we should probably release some subjects to help us do so, but I'm just gonna run it on speed 5 until 1821 and see what happens. Just to see, shall we not even how much we can convert, but most likely how much income we can get. And I just also noticed that there is culture bonus with +1 missionary for the Kashyyyk culture, and to get the Kashyyyk culture I have to go and colonize these 2 provinces. So to do that, we just take Tech 26 and unlock the first 2 exploration ideas and start playing around with the colonies. Actually, this is also +2 missionary strength from policy, so I'm gonna finish the whole exploration ideas. I just hit 40,000 income, solar building manufactories and furnaces. How about we replace current ideas with something more useful to get us more missionary strength? How about quality? It should give us trade efficiency, right? 15%. Well, expansion would give me additional trade efficiency and trade steering. So let me go ahead and take it. In the meantime, my missionary strength is hitting 21% without the local modifiers, where, you know, the cathedrals are coming in. Well, even a revolution happened, so we might end up having some rebels. Innovation of a pagoda, 300,000 ducats. I just noticed that there's a monument for trade steering that I completely missed. Look, that trade steering is gonna upgrade my trade income from 51,000 to 57,000. And I'm now just double checking my setup of the trade notes is right. For example, now that test was complete failure. It's much more worth it to go through Hormuz from Gulf of Aden. Which is 70,000 trade income already. I could get more states governing costs, right? The thing that I just refused to use. How about we take it? Let's see how low we can get our state governing costs. It's 1.6 thousand. That's most of the world being stated already. Well, we just hit 100,000 of income. Not bad. Much cleaner borders also now that I simply started colonizing all these provinces, which cost me 11,000 ducats a month. Last expansion idea is also another new autonomy territories. So we'll look at our half states now. You see they'll be down to just 20 of autonomy. And that's unlocked policy as we discussed. Trade steering, trade efficiency. Let's take a look. 111,000 of trade income. If we give it a month, 138,000 of trade income. So our total income is 150,000. We can get the goods price modifier state ethics to all of the missing states now. And our income is already up to 165,000. I'm really wondering, guys, about switching my build now to like, fuck the religious modifiers. Let's start income modifiers so we can get our income even higher than it is right now, because I'm sure by now that we'll not be able to convert it all. We'll be able to convert most of the provinces, but some will left be untouched. Well, I'll tell you what, the idea cost is like super cheap for us, so I'll leave it as it is right now, and I might do some switches at the very end. Just hit 300,000 income. We pretty much came to the limit what we can do with, you know, endgame tag, not being able to change our government, because obviously as a republic it could get much more trade steering from spawning training cities, which I can do here. Also can stack much more of trade efficiency, just a little bit more. Normally you just format the tax for this. Same for the goods price modifier, even though this is pretty good. But I just took eco ideas to get extra development on all of processes of manufactories, and to do that I just quickly peel around and remove my current manufactories to peel them and get that bonus. You know what, guys, screw it, I'm not that patient. I'm just gonna focus on unlocking building slots wherever I do not have the manufacturer yet. I also have 81 merchants, which means I have a merchant every single trade node in the world. I also cancel deploy ideas. I don't think it gives me anything more. Missionary strength, but I don't really use that anymore. And I'll replace it with quality for another trade efficiency. And National Bank gives me so much money, it's gonna actually overflow and take 800,000 instead of giving me something. Funny thing, but I cannot spawn in industrialization because my capital is on an island and there's no promise of fairness connected to my capital, so I have to move it back to the continent, and it cannot be outside of the new world because that would create the goddamn colonial nations. So let me just move it here to knock it. And there it goes, industrialization. And we have so much prosperity in the whole country. Mandate is growing almost 2 a month. And we're still at this point of the game with Universities built and over dev cost modifier stacked. I can just dev for 3 to 5 points per click. And this is without statistics, which I don't bother to micromanage. Same as that, technically I should develop provinces that are early on in the trade route, but another thing I'll not bother. I can take Tech 29, which is the last idea group. And I think the last 2 ideas I will want to take is quantity and then replace reduce with admin, just for some extra policies. Would be probably very helpful if you had any idea that gives me economic stuff. Yeah, it's all in memes, guys, at this point. So I removed all of my armies, except this one stack, for the game to run faster, and it runs much faster. Just look at this. But then we got the rise of the Zulu event, and imagine that they are rising richly to one of the 3 stacks that I'm having across the world. You see, I'm using even a parliament to get some trade efficiency. So my trade efficiency is almost at the maximum, which is 200%. And I'll get 10 more % from switching religious ideas into admin ideas. See, also religions are being switched, but again, we started too late to convert. Hindu is pretty bad to convert because it doesn't have enough missionaries. And then finally I didn't use any subjects to convert, so that's why it's, as told the other, it's not really possible to make the 1/5, but we will convert a big chunk of the world, 1.8 thousand provinces. I am absolutely done. 530,000 income. I'm very impressed because without forming any specific nations for it, without changing the government to republic, I think this is a pretty good result. 183 of trade efficiency, 200 trade steering, 360 goods produced. Obviously it was just to check how much I can get with this setup, and it's pretty good, right? So guys, if you did enjoy this whole series and appreciate it, remember to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you tried the 3 mountains yourself and how's it going for you. I finished 1700. We can finish it before 1821, I'm pretty sure about that. Remember about my comments from the previous video that I probably forgot about trade, spawned in 1630, just to be able to stack up so this easily and use my video guide to do it quickly. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon.